to a bar, chuck to a bar, chuck to a motherfucking bar. It's showtime. Let's go.
Yo, welcome everybody to Chuck's Crypto Roundhouse episode 3. We got your co-host Danny the Bull, and we got Ron from Ron's Crypto Therapy here. How's everyone feeling today?
Guys? I'm okay. Thanks for having me up here, Jordan.
No worries, Ron. No worries. Danny, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. You know, another day of work. Came home. Happy to be here with you guys to talk some Chuck.
Awesome. We've got some crazy comments here. I don't know if you guys saw, we got like botted earlier. We had all these crazy spam comments. I spent like 15 minutes just clearing those out.
Yeah, you don't really see that on live streams too much. I always see it on like some of my videos sometimes, but never really on lives.
You definitely see a lot on like those big like million subscriber crypto channels. It's just like the top 10 comments are all like spam ones. They get like 2,000 likes. Oh, Bill Garner's in the house. Let's go. Let's go. Alrighty. So, Danny, what do you think's first up on the block?
Well, let's welcome Ron first of all, and you can, I guess, you have a floor today to talk about, you know, Chuck. You've never really come out and talked about it, you know, publicly and whatnot. So I think it's a good time for people to hear, you know, what your thought process is and has been, and all that.
Sure. Yeah. And, you know, for whatever reason, I've been somebody who's been associated as being part of the Chuck team, kind of out on Twitter and stuff like that. And ever since prices went down, there's been a lot of accusations pointed at me, whether it's tweets or videos. I've been constantly defending myself in DMs for well over a week now, from different accusations and threats and things like that. And, you know, I'll address some of that. But Chuck is a decentralized, community-driven meme coin project. Bottom line, that's what it is. I'm not the CEO of Chuck. Nobody is. I don't know. I'm involved in certain aspects. I'm not denying that, but I don't know how to write a smart contract. I don't have anything to do with the guys that run the socials. You know, some hands for Chuck, one hand doesn't know what the other one's doing necessarily. I don't want to word it like that, but it's decentralized. And I think that's the way crypto projects should be. I mean, if you want to get into a meme coin project, isn't that what you'd want to hear? A decentralized, you know, community-driven project. And that's what it is. There's community members that do things for the project that are involved in various capacities. And, you know, I was one of the people that was, this was brought to from the start, you know, and to show that, like, one example of how I'm not the president of Chuck or anything, if we as Chuck list in a country to help with certain exchange listings, that'll be in Switzerland. So I'm obviously not Swiss. I live in the United States. I don't think that's a secret. So there's a lot of different moving parts of Chuck. It's not just me. You know, and one reason why I didn't want to come out and talk about it publicly too much is because people that already know, every time they get a failed transaction on Uniswap, they're hitting me up, you know, like, what is this? What's happening all of a sudden? I'm like, I don't know, man, restart your device. Like, the contract's renounced. Nothing's been done. And it's also not fair to me, you know, anything prime price goes down, anything like that, you know, people are hitting me up in the DMs. What's wrong? You need to do something. If games for a living or something like that goes down, I don't think anyone's hitting the dev up on that team, you know. So, you know, it's like just not. There's a lot of problems with it or whatever, but, you know, I'm not scared. I'm not scared to come out here and talk. It's not like I haven't done anything wrong. And I'm going to talk about these allegations because there's been a lot of allegations against me specifically, but what I haven't seen is any proof. I haven't seen any blockchain scans or like, this is how he dumped the price and stuff like that. But I totally understand why people think that, because I'm somebody that's associated with the project. And whenever and I'm the same way, when I see some kind of big dump, especially on a meme coin project, you automatically think it's something to do with the team. That's fair. It's okay, you know. But that doesn't mean that's the case, you know, just because you would think that. And then people jump to conclusions from different incomplete data points. Like, I saw somebody on Twitter on one of the sales that was like 200K, they said, well, see, this was obviously the team dumping because, look, you know how you can tap on Deck Screener to tell you what was bought and sold from that wallet. So, like, see, nothing was bought from the wallet. There you go. It had to be team tokens. All you have to do is move to a different wallet. And somebody holding over 20 million tokens, they're not going to hold that in one wallet to display that on chain because it scares away buyers. So that is very easily to prove, you know. So just say, for instance, I had 20 million tokens. I don't have 20 million tokens, but there's one person, which I'll prove, they bought 20 million tokens on launch, well, 19 million, and then they bought a little bit after that. And look, that's their right. So they bought it off the market at launch. Like, what can you do? So they sold it all at once, and that was the big $200,000 sale or whatever. So if I had 20 million tokens and I sold them at that time, or this person sold them, it's still 20 million tokens getting dumped on the market. Now, if I got my tokens for free, then I would have had more profit, but it doesn't matter. It's still 20 million tokens dumped on the market. That is enough to dump the price. You know, it didn't have to come from me, and I don't have 20 million tokens. And you know, if you don't mind, let me just share my screen, Jordan.
Sure. And I guess I'll just bring up this comment, which I know you're basically answering. Thoughts on Caval's full truth about the Chuck video?
You know, I don't want to talk about individual. I get a lot of allegations from people, and I'm not. You know, it is what it is. That's part of this game, and you know, it's fine. You know, I'll talk about certain things that people have brought up to me. You know, so look, 59 days ago, this was the day of the launch, and he bought 10 million Chuck there. And then this other one, the same guy, 59 days ago, bought another, you know, 8 plus million. And I'm going to look at some other things as well. So one of the things that was brought up as you know, this guy said that Ron Dump was crypto bro, and I don't think he's gonna mind me sharing this little snippet of our conversation without like sharing the whole conversation, because yeah, he had tweeted Ron something to the effect like, Ron, did you dump the price? Something to that effect. And I sent him a DM, and I sent him a bunch of info because, you know, first of all, crypto bro is very smart. If people are not familiar with him, he's kind of like a blockchain sleuth, and I had heard from him before this having to do with the project. He figured out who one of the other devs was. So just for him to do that, I already knew he was really smart. So I had sent him a bunch of information because we have our own blockchain sleuths as well, outlining that the bottom line, everything that was sold on the crash, the dump, whatever you want to call it, it was all bought off the market. And I'm going to go over that. So I sent him some of that info. He didn't need it. He already, you know, had figured it out or whatever. But when you say his previous mention, I'm not looking into it further. However, I think, you know, you understand how I came to my road to conclusion. Yes, because people who are associated with the team, you think the team dumps the price. I get it. It's okay. Regardless of the setback, you did a really great job on the token. Seriously, well done. So this is somebody said, you know, hey, talk to crypto bro. Well, and look, I don't have the audacity to come out here like there's not some further thing where he talked about, no, it actually was you. Like, I don't have the audacity to come out here and put a screenshot like that and cite him as something like that. You know, the only thing I will say about the correspond, like, so it was news when you thought that maybe I dumped the price, because that's a story, you know, somebody from the team dumping the price. But when I was kind of exonerated or whatever, well, that's not a story. He deleted the tweet though, but he didn't like say, well, no, you know, he actually didn't do it. But it's fine. That's the nature of the business. I understand that. You know, people are going to, you know, it's only a story if I crash the price. I've also seen people say, well, he can move tokens around and stuff like that. First of all, I'm not aware of any address obscurity program on Base. And even if it was, it would probably only be for ETH. There definitely isn't one you can run Chuck through there. But people are looking at this all wrong anyway. If you already have the source of the issue, i.e. the sales, then instead of worrying about like my wallet or anything like that and tracking forward, you can just track back from the sales. And that's really easy to do. And like I said, we have our own blockchain person. So this outlines it, because we keep track of this. We keep track of everything. So we're aware of whale threats and stuff like that. It's not anything that you can really do about it, but at least you know. So this is by date. So somebody told me, well, don't dox everyone's wallet address or whatever. So this is all one person. He was buying from 20 different wallets. And how do we know that? Well, he was sending the stuff from wallet to wallet. But even if he wasn't, Even if you say, well, you don't know it was one person, it doesn't matter because it was still all bought off the market. And if you don't think so, then go look at these sales on these dates, and you can look up the address and you can trace it back yourself. The way the dump happened is, so you see this whale 3 down here. He wasn't really a whale. He was just an early buyer, and he dumped a 6-digit sell order. And that was the first one that was dropped on the market. And it actually recovered really quick from that. But when price got back up there, I think it had started making people nervous. Like the trend was starting to come to an end. Jeets were coming out. And that's when whale number 1, he started dumping a bit. And I mean, you see this one day, he sold 12 million in one day. All right. And so that was on, May 12th. Anybody feel free to go back and check those transactions. And
that was 32 million market cap, right? Around that price.
I think that was, I don't know the exact dates, but that was when it was up there. It was going on its run and everything like that. So in total, he dumped 30 million tokens so far. All right. And he bought it off the market. Hey, that I can't stop that. Some people have said, well, why didn't you blacklist the address? First of all, the contract is renounced. You can't do that. And what kind of thing is that to do? That some whale's buying your project and you try to blacklist his address to not sell it, and he could just move it to another wallet anyway. But that's not how you do things. So,
and that goes against like the whole decentralized, it goes against crypto and decentralized and all that.
Yeah, he bought it. It is his right to sell.
It's open market.
That. And anybody who talks about these dumps, I would never. I guess you have to follow me and hear what I say behind closed doors and stuff like that. This is not how I operate. Forget about saying that Chuck is a rug or whatever. Just if it was any other project, I would not do a big sell order like that and piss away so much on the spread, and affect price. It's just not how I operate. I just wouldn't do it. So the first guy, like I said, he dumped, and then the Saturday, this guy started dumping a bit, and that's when whale number 2, the guy who bought the 19 million on the launch, you see right there, 19 million, and then he had bought a bit after that. That is when he decided for whatever reason he was going to sell. And he dumped it all at once. And that was when the allegations started to come in against me. Because I think the initial selling, I actually think that Chuck would have held that level and bounced back from that. But then when he dropped that sell on, it was bad.
It was recovering. It was recovering really well before that second sale.
I mean, so right here, that's a long wick on the daily. It's not uncommon with meme coins. I'm not saying it was about to bounce right back up, but I could have seen it range in here and eventually done what it's going to do again. Because the big thing was, if you look at the weekly, this candle changed the weekly. The weekly was still green and still had a decent body on it. I mean, the wick on top wasn't great, but it still wasn't like, okay, this is bad. And then that made the candle bad. That made it with a long wick and red. So, there's nothing we can do about it. It is what it is. But you can, like I said, that you can track those on the market. 20 million is still 20 million. And we got 3 million in volume in the first day. And I wanted to bring that up because it kind of brings me to some of my other topics about Chuck. So I said he bought 19 million the first day because I think a lot of people knew about this project. We were putting it out on lots of different Telegram groups and stuff like that. And people knew it had promise to it. It's not a rug, and they knew it wasn't a rug. That's why some of these whales have bought it and got in like that, to where they had the liquidity to dump the price like that. I mean, to be honest with you, that's what it was. I mean, people on the team, I'm not saying that they don't have tokens and things like that, but that's not, we're really trying to build something here. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But with the 3 million in volume, I want to talk about taxes and tokenomics a little bit. So I'll go to the website just for a second. But when it comes to the sales tax, I want to talk about that because we've been really smart with our funds with Chuck, whether people want to believe that or not. We haven't hardly dumped tokens at all for team use. I mean, for marketing and dev and anything like that. And you see, even what we've allotted to that is only 2%. So 4% total. There's reasons for that. So when we launched, I knew there was going to be a big turnout, or I suspected there was going to be a big turnout for the launch. Now, if you have a big turnout, it's also going to stir up the bots. It's going to stir up launch snipers. They're all going to, I mean, they're not holding the token. They're just going to dump like as soon as possible. And matter of fact, that's why, looking back, on Chuck, that's this long wick that wasn't great, and that's on the launch day. And people thought that was going to be a problem, and eventually we overcame it and moved on. But I bring up the 3 million in volume because that's why I set the 5. I didn't know it'd be 3 million in volume, but that's why I set the 5% sales tax, and that was my idea. And people thought I was stupid after the fact, saying like, no one's ever going to buy a meme coin for 5%. Whales won't get in with a 5% sales tax on a meme coin. Well, I knew there was going to be a lot of early buyers and early Jeets. So for the first week, I left it like that so that if you're just, buying the Jeet on the project, then at least I'm getting something out of it. And that helped us a lot, cover upfront cost and throw some of the devs a little bit of money. So they want to dump tokens, get some charity, treasury up. All that sales tax for the 5% for the first week allowed us to not dump tokens for a long time to cover some upfront cost of things. And then after a week or so, maybe 10 days, put the sales tax that we wanted in the start, and renounce the contract. And the sales tax, we try to do some things different. We looked at other meme coin projects and just other projects in general, and looked at how they were structured and set up with different aspects, and tried to use some of that, and also wanted to do our own thing. And we felt that one issue with meme coins was liquidity pools. You see these so when you launch a token, you can set the token price to whatever you want. It's kind of weird actually. So we made sure that our LP was back strong. And that's why you see some of these meme coins that have like $100 million market cap with like $1 million LP or something crazy like that. So if you don't have an LP, you don't have a project. A lot of people don't understand the difference between market cap and LP. Market cap is all the total numbers of sums at the current price. So in these kind of projects, theoretically, only one person can sell and get that price at any given time. The only actual money that's there is what's in the liquidity pool. So that's why with the sales tax at 1%, initially we wanted even more to go to charity. We actually went like a half and half. But the truth is, if you don't have liquidity, then you don't have a project. So we have 0.9% of the sales tax going to the LP and 0.07 going to charity. So if we get a lot of volume, that 0.07% will be pretty good. And we actually get a total of 1% from every sale that goes to the LP, because we provided the liquidity to Uniswap, and we're the only LP provider right now. And anybody is free to do that. You can get ETH and pair it with Chuck and provide liquidity, or any project on Uniswap. But since we're the only LP provider, we get the 0.1% from Uniswap as well. So you add that on to the 0.9, and we get 1% for every sale that goes into the LP, i.e. the pool for you to cash out of. So there's actually money there. And that's attractive to traders, that there's a meme coin with a strong liquidity pool.
Yeah,
now,
you know what? Just to piggyback off of that, I was looking at, I think Brett has something like $400 or $500 million market cap, and I want to say their liquidity is similar to the LP is similar to Chuck, which is kind of crazy.
when you're on exchange listings, that helps you. Then you tap into the liquidity for the exchanges, but your liquidity pool still matters on how price gets pushed around from big sell and buy orders. And when setting this up, I thought about what I like to see, or what I would like to see with a token like this. And I kept that in mind. One thing I want to say, if you're somebody looking to start a meme coin or something like that, be prepared. Because if you think you're going to come to the market and you're just going to launch a meme coin and go to 100 million, think again. And, you say what you want to about Chuck or whatever. We came prepared, socials, people to run them, website, everything looking good, plan, roadmap, whether you want to think there's a roadmap or not. And I'll talk about that a little bit. But it takes all these things, because 1,000 meme coins are launched every day. Like maybe 0.1% make it this far. We're been out 2 months now. So it's not easy game out there. And just because there's dumps, that doesn't mean that it's and I'm going to look, if you guys let me towards the end of the stream, I'll look at some other meme coins on Deck Screener, and we'll look at the chops that they took on the way up.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And so just to go into the tokenomics a little bit, so 70% launched, to liquidity on the first day, 10% for the team. That is standard with other projects. And I also want to make a point to that 10% spread over like 20 people. So And the purpose was that all this from the start, that nobody would ever have enough to crash the price. But, you know, as I said, you can't help to what is bought off the market. So this is airdrop. It actually should say airdrop / community rewards, because there's other plans for that 7.5% with different aspects of the project. Additional future liquidity. What that means is we have some tokens set aside for exchange listings when we get there. And I know everyone, you know, I've been pressured about a lot. You know, what about exchange? What about exchange? What about exchange? So we have a contact who can get us on various exchanges for in as little as 8 hours if we have all our stuff in order. We will get on exchanges. That is definitely our goal. But if you list on exchanges too early, it can definitely be a negative for your project. You know, and it also, the factors on listed on exchange, you have to run a certain amount of dollar value in tokens. So if your LP is stronger, if your token value is higher, then it makes a lot more sense. And I've heard, I don't know this for sure, but if you're sustaining over $1 million in volume a day, that they'll even, you know, waive some of those things, and you just give them like the token liquidity for free. But all that stuff's in the works, and we have, like I said, we have a contact. Well, when we were real hot and going up there, if we would have stayed around 20 million or 15 to 20 million, we probably wouldn't be listed on an exchange now. If we would have sustained that for a few weeks and volume around 1 million, then I think we would have been listed on a couple of exchanges by now. So we're trying to go about it and do things in the right way. You know, people are pressuring me and other people involved all the time. Release this, do that. At the end of the day, you know, and I know a lot of other project founders and devs and things like that. You have to run the project the way that it's set out to run. You know, when you're having red days, you can't catch a falling knife with fundamentals. I mean, you can throw it out there, but what most likely is going to happen is going to be a dead cat bounce for people who are either scared or worried about the project to just dump on and get out. So you're just giving them a better price to exit. And look, this is the game. This is the game of crypto and trading and everything like that. You know, everything's not a conspiracy. Then burn 3.5% that we had burned because we came in under on some things and we didn't want to display that much on chain. So we're like, let's go ahead and burn this. And some people said, well, let's add it to future liquidity in case there are exchanges. And some of us talked about it and we're like, nah, let's just burn it. Let's just show people like there's no need for us to hoard these tokens. And then just 4% total to marketing and dev. So we don't allot a lot for that. You know, we want Chuck to grow organically for whether YouTubers or influencers to find it on their own and want to promote it. And we have gotten some of that. But we try to be smart with the development marketing because we didn't allot much for it. Because if I'm looking at a project and they got 10% to marketing, 10% to development, that's just tokens that get diluted on the market. So like anything that's not backed from the initial LP, if you're not listed on an exchange and tapping into that liquidity, then you're just diluting tokens on the market. And I'd also like to tell another allegation I've heard that I was making a bunch of OTC deals, which is also not true. I haven't made a single OTC deal. Matter of fact, I turned down 75,000K OTC deal because at the time it didn't make sense to add to the liquidity pool and we didn't want to get on exchange right then. So that would, and that's why some of these things make me laugh because I'm accused of being a scammer and a fraud and all this stuff. That would have been $75,000 into our pockets, the people involved in that aspect of the project. And we're like, absolutely not, because it's going to dilute the liquidity pool if we're not using it for an exchange right now. So it would have been sending out, I don't know what, 8 million tokens or something like that with no backing. And I won't do that. And, you know, I care very much about the liquidity pool of Chuck. And, you know,
so Ron, can I just touch on that for a little bit? The liquidity pool.
Yeah,
so the liquidity pool on Chuck is around 850,000, and the liquidity pool on Roost, right, which is 31 million market cap, is about 870,000. Okay, that's 26 million higher market cap, and it's almost the exact same liquidity as we have in Chuck right now. Yeah. What's Chuck's liquidity going to be when we get to 31 million market cap? It's going to be so much higher. This is a solid project, guys. Like this is not a, you know, someone earlier asked, is this a rug pull? This is the furthest you can get from a rug pull in a meme coin. Seriously. That's all I want to point out.
Yeah, and I'm going to look up the liquidity pool wallet right now to see what that is at. And this wallet is, like, I can't touch it. Nobody can touch it. It's locked with the liquidity pool on Uniswap. Okay, it's at 66,000. So there's another 66,000 that backs this that you don't even see there. That what it does is injects liquidity as there's price fluctuation and helps stabilize price and absorb dumps and things like that. So that's where your sales tax goes. So 67K, you know, backing it behind that. No other meme coin project is going to have that. And, you know, that kind of leads me into the next point about the vision of Chuck. And look, and just a side point before I start talking about this, look, I'm aware prices going down. You know, I can't control that. Despite what you may think on Twitter, I cannot stop the price from going down or, you know, make it go up. You know, 70%, you see out there, 70% lost in the liquidity. I can't control that. I know it would be a cool story if I could or whatever. But when it comes to the vision of Chuck, and I touched on it a little bit earlier, we looked at some things that other meme coins did that were good and some things that maybe we wanted to do different to stand out, because so many come out every day. We didn't want to just do a copy paste and cross our fingers and try to hype it up. We wanted to have some things different. So first of all, we had the charity aspect, which Vitalik had said that was a great utility for a meme coin. So we had done that. I also, I was somewhat involved with the Man AI launch. I wasn't on the team. I never compensated tokens or anything like that, but I knew the founder. And I saw some of the things they did. They did the charity thing as well. And I thought about that from them as well. So anyway, that was one thing that we wanted to separate ourselves apart. And we thought about it like as a meme coin, you know, I'm not going to say that, you know, we're going to redefine what a meme coin is, but I'm saying that, you know, we're going to try, we're going to do our best. So I know a lot of other project founders from different projects. And when I say other project founders, that's not saying I'm the founder. I'm just saying I know project founders and devs from other projects. And one thing that, excuse me for a second, Jordan. Sorry.
No worries. I'll just go through some of the comments here. Wait till Coinbase Smart Wallet launches, says Mark. Mark's a big community member. I've actually had Mark before on my podcast, and yeah, he's a really, really cool guy. And I know he owns a decent amount of Chuck. And yeah, Coinbase Smart Wallet is supposed to launch in Q2 of 2024, which means it's got about 1 month and a couple of days left till it's going to launch. And that could bring a lot of liquidity into the base network.
Sorry about that, Jordan. I have to keep my phone on me, keep communication. I have a sick family member. Sometimes I have to tend to. But so I was saying other project founders. So say you ran a privacy project. You can't come out, not really like a burn lottery like we're doing, or if you wanted to come out with some kind of play to earn game, it wouldn't be taken serious, you know. But if you're a meme coin project, you can do anything. What can't you branch out to in crypto? So the way we kind of looked at it is, all right, we launch as a meme coin, build a community, raise some funds, and then who's to say what we can do? We don't have to be a meme coin project. We can be a crypto project. So yeah, that was kind of, and when I assess projects, I like to look at different sectors, and that's how I like to allot my funds as well. You know, so people ask me a lot, this is in the Chuck related, but I have $10,000, Ron. How should I go about putting that into the crypto market? And this is what I tell them. I said, think about the different sectors: gaming, AI, privacy, layer 1, layer 2, whatever. And then think about how big you like those narratives. So say you like AI and gaming a lot. So say put 40% of that to AI and gaming. And then you start to then think about the projects you like in AI and gaming. And that's the way to narrow your focus down. And the reason I say that is because I looked at Chuck that we could get in a lot of different sectors. Potentially. That's what our goal is. And, we started, we had the bot, the Chuck bot, and that bot works good, man. Like, in Telegram, it works better than the other bots that I've used. I mean, we had the Palm AI bot in my Telegram for a while, and it didn't never work. And they went to $150 million market cap and had no utility with the coin, and did a token contract upgrade. So, we do have a lot of plans with Chuck. There's a lot of development. Why would it be a rug if we were developing these things behind the scene and still doing it? It doesn't make any sense. People aren't going to put all this work and time and effort into it and then dump a bunch of tokens on the market and have people lose some trust in it in the short term. That's just not what, That it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. But I'll let you guys say some words, and if you want, I'll look at on Deck Screener to talk about some other meme coins, and because I know some people are like, well, maybe Chuck is dead. Can it come back from this? Well, let's look at some other. I'll look at some other meme coins on Base. I'll look at some other notable, a few on Solana, and we'll see how they did.
Awesome, awesome. Do you want me to remove your screen for now, or just leave it?
You can do whatever.
Cool. I was going to say, Danny, did you want to mention the brew that we know?
So yeah, Ron had mentioned about how this is a community-driven project, and there are so many community members. One of the who are like making things happen and doing things and taking Chuck in different directions. There's actually one community member who is working on getting some Chuck beer made, Chuck brews, and that's coming pretty soon. He's in the process of setting that up so that there'll be like custom Chuck beer cans that people can purchase online. So it's just another example of one of the things that, I've never been, part of a meme community like this before. And what I'm, struck by with Chuck is the talents that a lot of people have, and the commitment and the passion, and how they're just going out and doing different things. And that's a really cool thing that's happening soon.
I'm just going to do a little teaser because next week we're going to have some interesting guys on. Here we go.
Now hold your ass till I holla, because Chuck won't stop. Fuck your doctor coins, Chuck is real. Compared to him, those beta memes have zero appeal. Chuck even keeps the bears restrained, shackling themselves respectfully to his base layer chain. So while you're bullshit crypto dumps and farts, Chuck puts another back handle onto the chart. Don't even fuck with Chuck, he owns his space. You'll need Ethereum, but with Tron to base Ethereum trace and Chuck on Uniswap.
Dirty D-Gens.
Yeah, they're coming on next week, I believe. So hopefully they'll be here. They mention Chuck every stream now, guys. So it's free advertising, right? Like we've got quite a few influencers now that are really interested in the Chuck project. And like Rugrats just said, this is not a whoopsie, I missed that one. This is not a rug for sure. Like it's we've donated wasn't our run over $8,000 total to charities, maybe even higher.
I think it's 7,500, and there's another in real life one in the works. Last I heard, but there's a separate person that handles that, and I seen him in the comments a minute ago, and that goes to the decentralized manner of it. There's a donation person that does those things. So I don't know everything going on with Chuck at any given time, for sure. I don't.
Yeah, I'm in some of those groups, and you're not in a lot of those groups. So yeah, it's definitely fairly decentralized. It's an awesome idea to have a community-driven project that actually works.
I think that's the whole point of when memes get created, they then belong to, after a certain period of time, they just belong to the community.
We're going to comment here by 10 Toes. With recent hacks such as Normie, are there any safeguards in place to avoid that? I heard how that hack happened, right? That was like a liquidity pool hack.
Yeah, I don't remember the details around it, but I remember one of the guys on the team looked at it afterwards and said, no, don't worry about it.
Yeah, they explained it. It's something to do with the way the liquidity was and the sales fee, and they did some weird loop and dumped the price and bought it at the same time, and did some weird.
Guys are smart out there for sure. Yeah, they're smart out there for sure.
Yeah, I think that's something that can happen to any liquidity pool if it gets to a certain point, and it just happened to be Normie got to that point where that was possible. But I don't think it's going to happen to Chuck. We've got a lot of buys, guys. If you guys are seeing that, if you guys haven't checked out the Telegram, check out the Chuck Telegram. It is Chuck _ base.
Yeah. And I've been watching the sales to the last couple of days and stuff like that. And there's a lot of early buy. A lot of people that bought, I see April 1st, April 2nd, March 31st. A lot of those people are selling. So, it's early buy. And if you don't know, Chuck launched at a 225K market cap. So it's still up a lot from the launch. It stayed, if we look at the Chuck chart, it stayed in this range for a month, from 2 to 3 million. So you had some Jeters getting out, and you had some of these whales I mentioned buying it. You know, there's another guy in the project. I know he's a whale. He was buying a lot down here. He hasn't sold any. But that's what you have. You have it changing hands. But this was still already, you know, over 10x up from the launch price. So people are already up, not percent. They're up X's, you know, and it held this value. So then when you get this strong run up like that, the people that it changed hands with down here, you have some of those people up, you know, 10x who were buying heavy amounts, those whales and stuff. And then the first guy who G'd it, who had the 6-digit sell, he just bought like real low, like on the launch or whatever. So it wasn't even here. He bought like on this candle up. And so he's up like 100x here or something like that. And you have to think about those things when you look at the math in this way, that it doesn't, you know, and like I said, 20 million tokens is 20 million tokens, whether it came from me or somebody else on the team, or if somebody bought them off the market. And the bottom line is you can see that they were bought off the market. It's clear they were bought off the market. And people didn't think that we were, you know, they didn't know if we would get past this wick. And now you look back and that's just nothing. I'm gonna look at a few other meme coins.
Actually, you can check out Rocky. Rocky's actually was a similar market cap to ours, and they're actually down a very similar amount as well right now.
So I haven't even looked at Rocky, but yeah, I mean it looks similar to Chuck. See what the drop is from all-time high to now, and you know about 90%.
Yep. So it's not just, we're not alone with this. Even though maybe ours was forced a little bit by a couple of big whales, it's still the overall market is very similar.
Every project can have whales in it, especially meme coins. I wish I could recall his account offhand, the Twitter account. But there's a guy who shows like these big wallet come ups. So he tracks wallet data, and almost all of them come from like these people buying a large amount of some random meme coin initially. That's how they almost all happen. So Roost, they actually did a contract change and reset their chart. And I don't want to say anything that I'm saying here about Roost. I don't mean it to be negative. You know, we want to be friendly to all other base meme coins. So what I say about Roost isn't going to be a negative. So before Roost relaunched, their chart looked really, really bad. I think that's maybe one of the reasons why they relaunched. But look, even after the relaunch, within 4 days, it had taken an 80% chop as well. Which I think that's what Chuck is at, 75, 80%, something like that. I mean, I'm not saying that that's a good thing, but I'm saying, you know, this is other examples. Byte is, I'm not even seeing that on base. Am I spelling it right? Byte is another meme coin.
I think I said halfway down. I saw it halfway down. It's got the big blue icon. Yeah. Is that one?
Yeah. And this is like,
rough.
Yeah, but I actually like this one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I bought. No, this isn't. This is a fake one. It's not 100.
Oh, 100K. Yeah.
Or this is a different liquidity pool or something like that. But I actually bought some Byte at 30 million market cap, and I'm really surprised I don't see it there because it's a similar to Chuck. And this is the logo and everything, but you know, it's not at that low of a market cap. It's more similar to Chuck, but it was at 30 million, and now it's around the same place as Chuck. Andy is not too bad. It's doing a little better than some.
Didn't Andy have a big run up recently?
Well, not necessarily. It just hasn't been doing as bad as some other meme coins. But yeah. You see, it took
look at the liquidity. It's still less than Chuck by quite a bit.
Yeah. Then another
like 300,000 less liquidity.
So what's the market cap?
15 million.
So you see like almost 80% drop, then another 60% drop. And this is one we're considering is doing pretty good right now. Now I want to talk about Toshi for a second. I know Brett gets a lot of the fame or whatever you want to say, recognition as the top project. I actually looked at Toshi when we started this for some things, and I'll talk about that in a second.
That looks quite rough.
Yeah, and that was not okay. 90% off, early on. Then here you got that wasn't as bad, 40%. Then here you got currently 70%, and that's a bad daily candle.
Yeah, look, meme coins are pretty rough. Like any of the ones that you go well long term, they have heaps of ups and downs until they take off.
It's a combat sport.
It can be. But you know, when I look at Toshi, and because we wanted to do this on base, and I saw these things like Toshi's got a lot of stuff coming out. These are all things that they have developing and stuff like that. And I told one of the devs that me and him were looking at it. I said, you know, if we want to survive off more than just hype, we're going to need to be able to do. I mean, not saying exactly what Toshi's doing, but we need to have our own spin. We need to have our own development, you know, and that's what we're going to keep focusing on, because I can't control the price. I really can't. Chuck can go down to a $1 million market cap. I'm still going to continue to do the development. It's what I said I was going to do. It's what I've committed to the team. It's what I've committed to the people that believe in the project. And I'm going to keep doing it. You know, if another whale dumps a sum and drops the price down more, I'm going to keep working. It's not, you know, I can't get wrapped up every day in you know, obsessing about the price. It'll be what it's going to be. And I talked to other project founders, and they are the same way. You know, people, I don't think there's any secret. I'm friends with the Medicaid founder, Russ. I've done live streams with him and stuff, so you know, it's not a secret. And look at all the catalysts they're putting out all the time. I mean, and he says the same thing. You know, when they're having red days, he gets messages in Telegram and do something. You know, fundamentals isn't a stop for these things. You know, it just is what it is. But here's Myro going to Solana now. See, they had a you know, almost a 90% drop there. From here to here, another almost 80% drop. A real interesting one to look at, one that's been doing good lately, is Ponky.
I think Danny brought that up last stream as well, so it'd be good
Yeah.
to see.
I was in early on this, and I cheated my bag.
So I remember, yeah, I look at Cock too, because that's another one. So, okay, 90% drop there, 80% drop. And then these drops that look bigger actually aren't as big. So about a 70% drop, then about a 50% drop.
And
I mean,
what's the time period in between the you know, the
even
new
up there,
pump?
25% drop. So it came out the end of the year, like, yeah, so December 2023. So this all happened within 6 months. And you see it's real hot right now. Cock, we'll look at that too.
Chug a chuck, chug a chuck. That might be the catchphrase for once we get the beer going.
So there you go, 80% there.
Another thing at the moment, like the market's not very green right now. It's still sort of in recovery mode.
No, yeah, you're right. And now the news coming out about Mt. Gox. I don't know that we're going to go up right now. Also, with the ETF getting approved, and now obviously I think that's good for the market. But you normally see some kind of sell the news sort of thing. You normally don't see these things happen and then the market just go right up. So I don't expect, at least from what last time I looked at charts and did some analysis, I'm not seeing Bitcoin to go up and break all-time high and get into price discovery just yet. You know, my thesis with Chuck is this, that if we survive, and make no mistake, when you're a meme coin, and we're just a meme coin right now, although we plan to be more than that, sometimes it's about survival, you know. And if we make it to the other end of this tunnel, you know, on base, Coinbase Smart Wallet, we got a good LP, we did things the right way, we got developments coming out, we're on exchanges, Bitcoin's in price discovery. Hey, we still think we can go well 100 million or more and won't be phased by the short term, you know, turmoil, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, those are all great explanations, man. It's great to hear from you and have you. You're one of the smartest guys I know in crypto, man. And I've been, you know, chatting with you for a couple years now, and yeah, I'm just thankful that to have your ear all the time, you know, when I need advice on crypto and all this stuff.
Well, I really appreciate that, Danny. And I understand people's concerns about me because there's so many bad actors in this space. And if I say, you know, I get that, I'm just not one of them, you know, you don't have to believe me, but I promote Wallet Guard a lot. And I don't get paid for that. And Wallet Guard is free. And anybody watching the stream, please go download Wallet Guard right now, because I hate seeing people get scammed. You know, I don't have to, you know, and a lot of people, they seem to take shots at me because I run a paid Telegram. yeah, I don't need to do that, guys. You know, I have I've done pretty well in crypto and stop. Like I do that because it's what I enjoy doing and I like to help the people, you know. And to be honest with you, over the last couple months, that's getting taken away from me. Not the Telegram, but like my joy to want to keep doing this and stuff like that. You know, I haven't made a YouTube video in a while. You know, when I started doing this and wanting to be more involved in crypto, YouTube channels, develop Twitter, following and all that, my worry was that people that follow me might get upset with me sometimes if I put out things that were not doing well. And I really haven't experienced that. It's other people that jump to conclusions about me for whatever reason and then take these shots at me. And if anybody has those, you know, feel free to shoot me a DM on Twitter or Telegram or whatever, and I'll hop on a call with you. You can talk about whatever it is why you think that I'm doing wrong or have done wrong. Because I do understand there's so many bad actors out there. And here's something I want to point out. All right. So I will say that when the LP was launched for Chuck, I was physically in the location. I wasn't the one launching it. It was somebody else there. But like I said, the $3 million in volume the first day, the LP got up to about $1 million at the top of that wick. Hey, if it was a rug, how come me and him didn't just take the $1 million and go and bounce and not even do all this stuff after the fact for some kind of elaborate token dump that people say on the market, or something like that. You know, why didn't we just yank the LP? And that's why I don't take it. I don't like these accusations about being a, you know, fraudster or scammer and stuff like that, because I've never scammed anybody in my life, you know? So, you know, believe it or not, but if you want to make these accusations, then prove it on chain, because Chuck isn't on exchanges. It's only on chain. So yeah, and that's all I'm really going to say about it. I don't want to address it anymore. And, you know, I probably won't do any more YouTube videos or post on Twitter too much either. I'm too busy. I got other things to do, to be quite honest with you. And it's just so toxic out there. It just makes me, I don't even want to deal with it.
You know, really appreciate your time today, Ron, to come on here. By the way, we had 306 people watching live across all the different channels right now. So that's our best ever for this show. I know it's only episode 3, but still that's building.
Actually, there's one other thing I like to mention, Jordan. Another accusation I forgot to address, and it was that I was using my influence over with TA to get people to buy Chuck. And this is why I wanted to point this out. I didn't post to buy Chuck on the launch on Twitter. I did not. I didn't post here until April 3rd, when you see I have a technical reason on why I'm saying this. And I said, you know, I waited to post it because the meme coin, I wanted to make sure it survives the initial launch. That was true. I didn't know it would survive the initial launch. That is 100% true, because early buyers and stuff, you know, if they jeet big dumps, then it creates bearish patterns on chart, and then other people dump, and then just traders, people don't care about the project, then they dump. So I didn't even post it on Twitter until this date. You know, it already rose it up a bit. And then if you want to say another one where I could have insinuated buy it, it was this one, but it went up a lot after that. Other than that, I've just posted like, you know, out there with the rest of the community, you know, the token's going up. Obviously, you know, we're excited, but I wasn't telling people to buy it at the top or anything like that. I did not expect it to crash that way. I will say that. I didn't think it would crash that way. And
it wouldn't have. If it wasn't for the giant whale selling, it wouldn't have crashed that hard. It would have.
Yeah. And you know, the whale, and I know who these people are, and you know, the whale that sold so much, you know, because I took so much heat, you know, it wouldn't have been the worst thing for him to kind of get out on Twitter and be like, look, guys, I bought this off the market. I'm the one who sold and caused a lot of this. But, you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I got to take the heat for it, even though I didn't do it. Have I sold Chuck? Yeah, I've sold a little bit. Full disclosure, I think I've sold about $7,000 worth of Chuck.
Yeah, that's not much.
In 2 months. And considering that the time and effort that I put in, that's about $1 an hour. You know, I would have been much better in those 2 months managing my own funds, and I could have lost money. $7,000. I tell you that.
Well, I want to also point out that I've known you, Ron, now for maybe a little bit over 6 months or so, a little bit more than that, and you've definitely helped me make thousands and thousands of dollars from your Telegram group and all the calls there and just information. And I've also, you know, such a good group of people, and the vibe of these people is fairly high, and we have such a great time. And it's one of the reasons I got into Chuck and why I'm so interested and why I want to help and why I do the YouTube and the spaces with Danny and everything. And, you know, it's something that I look forward to every morning is like getting up and chatting with everyone, and obviously looking forward to the price going up. That was great when we had every single day. It just went higher and higher and higher, and that's okay. It's just slow now, but yeah, it's it's great knowing you and knowing that you're looking out for everybody and trying
I
to do
really
better.
appreciate that, Jordan. And if you remember, we met on a stream of Danny's where we're talking about Omi, and I think you probably had an unfavorable opinion of me at that time, and it's okay.
Probably, yeah. I was relatively neutral, probably slightly bordering on. I thought you were fudder for Omi, but I didn't know you, so.
Yeah, and when it comes to project, I really just try to keep it honest. And I think the way I just come across is I come across a little harsh sometimes. I'm not the best YouTuber. I'm not the best influencer. That's why I never have a big following. I won't even pursue it anymore, probably. I'll do what I do on Telegram, and I'll do what I do with Chuck, and it'll be what it's going to be. The influencer, Cole life, that's just not for me. I gave it a shot, but, it ain't really my thing.
Yeah, it's rough out here being an influencer, especially in crypto.
Yeah.
Danny knows. You can see him smiling there.
Yeah. It's just so there's so much. I mean, just the time involved, and I slow down every, in making content. I'll go like a month or two without making any content just because you get burnt out and then you lose some motivation.
Yeah, and I'm somebody who I'm married to the game, and people that follow me on Telegram, like, this is my life. I don't have much of a life. I'm not saying no life at all, but hey, there's no doubt I'm married to the game, especially when it's market conditions, pre-bull market, bull market coming up, whatever you want to say. I'm all business. I'm not out here drinking and carrying on and doing all those things on the weekends. I tell everybody this, all through the bear market. I was here in the lab, researching projects on Morales Money, on CoinMarketCap, finding these new gaming projects and stuff like that. You have to stay ahead of the game. You have to stay ahead of the market. If you're reacting to what's happening and need flopping around on Twitter with the rest of the retail folks, you can get ate up out here,
Awesome. Well, we're probably going to wrap it up in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I've got a hard leave today at about 1 hour mark. Got my daughter's music class. I've got to head off. Being in Australia, it's like 8:50 a.m. So like you guys on the other side of the world there, and it's nighttime for you guys. So it's it is what it is.
Yeah, it's really cool how you do the streams in the morning like that in your time zone.
Yeah, it's good for me. I like doing things early. Like I prefer I'm like fresh and awake. I'd struggle doing them sort of when you guys have to do them at nighttime. So yeah, it's really great you coming on, Ron. I think you've cleared up a lot of stuff for a lot of people. I see like so many positive comments, and the Chuck's gone up about 200 or 300K market cap while we've been streaming, which is nice.
I really just want to put out one more time. If you're somebody that has an issue with me or you're making accusations or something, I'm a pretty reasonable guy. You can hit me up and we can talk about it, discuss it, or whatever your issue is. Because at the end of the day, none of us should be out here to like toxic and all that stuff. People are here to make money, support their families, have some fun with the community, whatever the case is. There's just not any reason for it. So that offer stands for anybody who has a problem with me.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna end the show with the intro. Danny, is there anything else you want to say? We're not mentioning that other thing about burning right now.
The burn lottery is I was chatting with someone before. Burn lottery is pretty much done. I think it should be up sometime tomorrow in the Telegram.
Awesome. There you go, guys. Burn lottery tomorrow. Okay, so that's really exciting. I think we're gonna do an X post or something tomorrow and put in the Telegram announcements. So look out for the Chuck Burn Lottery. Thanks again, Ron and Danny, for coming on. And we're going to close this out with the Chuck Show. So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Chuck to a bomb, chuck to a bomb, chuck to a mother king bug. It's showtime. Let's go.